What if the reason you still feel anxious is because you've been doing exactly the opposite of what you need to do? Avoiding it, controlling it, fighting it. If you're trying to fix a negative thought right now, you're actually making it worse. Think about it. The more you argue with anxiety, the more it just screams back. This is what we call the quicksand trap in ACT. And just like real quicksand, struggling is the one thing that guarantees that you'll sink. And today I'm going to show you the one counterintuitive move that will actually allow you to float rather than sink. We're on a mission here at Ride the Waves Wellness to reach our first 10 subscribers and to build a toolkit for minds that struggle. If you're ready to stop the internal war, then please like this video and hit subscribe. Now let's take a look at why fighting your brain is a losing game. Imagine that you're in deep quicksand. Your survival instinct says, kick, get out. But every time you lift a leg, you create a vacuum that pulls you down faster. In your mind, that kick is you trying to distract yourself or listing reasons why the thought isn't true and just trying to fight against it. The only way to survive quicksand is to lay flat. You spread your weight. You stop fighting the sand, and instead you make peace with the fact that it's there. You don't have to like the sand. You just have to stop struggling against it so that you can stay on the surface. Think of a Chinese finger trap. You put your fingers in each end, and your instinct is when it tightens to pull them out. But when you try to pull them out, it tightens against them and you can't get them out. So the harder you pull, it tightens more, and now you're stuck. The only way out is to do something that feels completely wrong, to stop pulling, to gently move your fingers inward, and that loosens the trap so you can slide your fingers out. So the trap is the anxiety, the fear, the intrusive thoughts, and then you try to pull away, right? That's your attempt to try to control, suppress, avoid, or stop the feeling altogether. And then it tightens, right? The anxiety gets stronger, it gets louder, it gets more persistent. So in order to calm down, you have to move inwards. You have to allow the feeling to be there. You have to make space for it and not fight against it. So here's how you lay flat in your own head. The first thing you need to do is you need to name it. You need to recognize that you are in a struggle in that moment. So in your mind, you might say to yourself, wait, I'm fighting this. I'm fighting this thought, right? So perhaps you're lying in bed and you're trying to fall asleep, but you can't fall asleep and you start feeling anxious. And so in your mind, you're saying, I have to fall asleep. Why am I still awake? Stop thinking, whatever it is that you normally say to yourself in that moment. You might notice that your body is tense and that your mind is racing. So that's the first place where you just want to notice that you're stuck in the struggle right now in that moment. You're thrashing in the quicksand, right? The next thing you want to do is what we call drop the rope. You're going to stop the argument. You're just going to let the thoughts be there, just like their background noise. So instead of saying, calm down, or stop thinking about this, or I can't feel this right now, you're going to shift to saying, okay, this is just anxiety. This is what my mind is doing right now. You're not going to try to fix it. You're just going to drop the fight. And you might say to yourself, I'm not going to win this by fighting. And then the next thing you're going to do is expand. You're going to make space and you're going to lay flat. So imagine your breath creating space around that thought and notice it's there, but it's not all of you, right? So perhaps you let your body soften in the bed and you let the thoughts come and go without chasing them. You can say to yourself, anxiety can be here. I don't have to push it out. And from here, you can gently return to something grounding, like focusing on your breath or the feeling of the blanket or the sheets. something that can be calming. So you can say to yourself, I can let these thoughts be here and I can still be okay in this moment. So here's a challenge for you. What's one quicksand thought you've been struggling with this week? Write it in the comments, and by typing it out, you're literally practicing the act of looking at the thought instead of being in it. And I read every single one. We're building this community together, so stop the struggle, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope you struggle less and live more.